unarmed black man. So joining me now to talk about it, Ezell Hutchinson, political analyst and author of How Obama Governed, the Year of Crisis and Challenge. Thank you for joining us. What's going on?
My pleasure, Don. Well, you know, we first had New York with Eric Garner, the chokehold, the infamous chokehold. Now we have Ferguson with Michael Brown, and also Ezell Ford in Los Angeles. And by the way, even before that, Don, remember Marlene Pinnock, the African-American woman beaten by a California Highway Patrol officer.
On the highway. So, but let's stick now to Ezell. Tensions are high in Los Angeles after the shooting there of another young black man, again, Ezell Ford. What happened there, and what is your involvement in it?
Well, what happened was, as we can put it together, there's two versions, by the way. The official police version says that 24 years old, in the neighborhood, South Central LA, two officers, he was going for a gun, there was a struggle, and then, of course, the rest is tragic history. The other version that we got today, talking to some eyewitnesses, said no. At no point was he resisting, he was compliant, he was subdued, and also a young man that had mental challenges. And also many of the officers, they say, in the neighborhood knew that. They knew his condition and situation. So, Don, what we have here is almost he said, she said. We've seen this time and time again. What we did was we challenged, when I say we, my other hat as president of the LA Urban Policy Roundtable and some of the other civil rights groups. We challenged the Los Angeles Police Department, specifically LAPD officials. Let's have a meeting, let's discuss this, and you promised an investigation covering all bases. Let's make sure it's on an urgent basis, given what we know is happening around the country.
Can I ask you this?
Mm-hmm.
Has this case gotten more attention because of the outrage in the wake of the shooting of Michael Brown? And also, I want to know if these things are happening more in your estimation, or are we just more connected now? Is something going on here that needs to be addressed?
Well, you know, obviously it needs to be addressed. That was our challenge with police officials. We do have a situation, obviously, looking at what happened with Michael Brown, and also potentially what could happen with Ezell Ford. Anytime you have this kind of violence, anytime you have this kind of publicity, and anytime you have these kinds of tensions, you have to get a handle on it. So, in answer to your question, you know, Don, in trying to put this together.
When I say what that needs to be addressed, but I mean in a collective manner, other than just people reporting on it, and doing what you're doing in Los Angeles. Does there need to be some sort of collective thought or collective action from people around the country because of this, and not besides hashtagging it and watching it on the news?
Yes,
Well, absolutely. As a matter of fact, on that point, what we did, we brought together several organizations to have a dialogue with the LAPD, and also to try to get a fair and impartial and just resolution. Also, my understanding too, some of the black lawyers groups now, they're actually going and trying to coalesce in 25 cities to try to bring some closure to the table, discussion of this to the table, and some resolution. So we see it not just a local issue, but also a national issue, bringing people together.
Okay. Ezell Hutchinson, thank you so much. I wanted to spend more time with you because of the breaking news. We were cut a little bit short. We appreciate you joining us here on CNN. Thanks again.
My pleasure, Don.
All right, Don, here to weigh in on all of our breaking news tonight, Bernard Kerik, he's a former New York City Police Commissioner, Matt Fogg, retired Chief Deputy U.S. Marshal, and Joey Jackson, HLN legal analyst. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Bernie, I want to start with you. Did you happen to hear the interview that we just had exclusively with two eyewitnesses to the Michael Brown shooting?
I did.
Okay. Did you hear them describe that what they witnessed was a tussle of some kind between Michael Brown outside of the car and a police officer inside the police cruiser? They described it as something like an arm wrestle. Then Michael Brown was trying to get away, maybe running away. The police officer got out of the car, followed Michael Brown in their version of events, and shot him multiple times. What